Well, this has been a bit of a long gap. What's your excuse?
Stowage.
There's no need to swear.
It showed true ignorance. No, all tanks in action were covered in stowage, so there would be tarpaulins and old ammunition boxes used to store things in. There would be sleeping bags. There would be cruise packs. You can see in that picture some of it. There you can see all the stuff all over the back. Old boxes, and there'd be buckets and bowls, and sometimes things like there's more there and there. And so the issue has been sorting some out to look to me accurate enough. I want to keep that on the front, a spare track, which was used a lot because they thought it provided extra armour against German handheld anti-tank weapons, of which there were a lot, the Panzerfaust. But there was none supplied with the kit, so I started diving into my own spares, and it didn't feel like it was enough. I got enough jerry cans.
Yeah, we won't be able to see that unless you're using tweezers or something.
That would be a water can.
It's okay like that. It's just as if you point at it, I can't focus on it, or if you're holding it.
And I've made a number of rolls of tarpaulin baggage. I think that's a camouflage net, which we strapped up on the side. But it didn't feel as if I'd got enough to sort of create enough clutter or to get it to look so integrated enough. So I ordered some stuff from a Czech company.
Why did you use a Czech company?
Because if I'd ordered anything from England, it might have come from the Czech company anyway, and we'd have to pay duty on it. But this is in euros, so it's not a problem. And they just supply a massive equipment.
And this is the company that's called Black Dog.
Black Dog, yeah. Oddly enough, it's what I'm trying to sort out now. They've designed that to fit there, but when you put the turret in, it's really rather high and close to fouling this rear locker bin welded onto the back of the turret end.
They probably know that isn't going to be used, that it's just a model.
So I'm not going to use that one, I don't think. But there's a lot of other bits and pieces which come out rather nicely. Piles of baggage, spare boxes and wrapped up tarpaulin things, and a load of crew packs, because each crew member would have a pack, and there's 4 blokes in a Sherman Firefly. So they provide a number of those. There's spare tank helmets, crew helmets, to hang around the outside. And I've been reading a book, a detailed history of the Sherman Rangers, who were quite a well-known tank regiment. Apparently, one of the problems with the tank is that you're blind. You can look through periscopes, but it's like peering through a tiny letterbox. So the practice was that in action, all the crew would be shut down, the hatches shut. Everybody, apart from the commander. And the commander would just have his head stuck above, usually, because that way you've got more mobility, more visibility. You can look round, you can see infantry anti-tank teams creeping up on you, that kind of thing. You can spot anti-tank guns hidden in bushes more likely. So they used to drive with their head stuck out, as the commander is here. This is on road march. This is how I'm doing it. But apparently, there was a big problem with snipers. Not surprisingly, they could often be picked off by snipers and by rifle fire, that kind of thing, airburst. Now you would think that they might start wearing helmets, but apparently German snipers would use the helmets as an aiming point. So what they started to do amongst themselves is you wear a beret, but you put the helmet somewhere on the turret to act as an aiming point. You know, that classic DK where you put your helmet up on a stick
Yeah.
out the window as if they shoot that.
Yeah.
Well, apparently they used to do that, so I'll probably do something like that. So yes, I'm getting going again because I've got more stowage I can add.
And Black Dog sent you a gift.
They sent me a gift. Yes, I'd ordered quite a lot because I've got quite a lot of models that are going to need stowage. It's rather sweet. Can I find it?
Oh, you only had it a day. It must be in there somewhere near the front.
A box of food supplies.
Oh, we need those.
Well, it's quite nice. There's sort of vegetables and potatoes in wooden crates and stuff. So, and some barrels. And crews would often, military crews, especially in Europe, were supplied with, I think the British would be mostly bully beef, some stews in tins, some hardtack biscuits. And it got pretty monotonous. They got pretty fed up with it. So there was an awful lot of scrounging they did from an exchange. And in France, in Holland, the people were often very happy to exchange sides of ham, beef, bacon, cheeses, eggs particularly, calvados, cider, in exchange for tins of bully beef or tins of military chocolate. They really liked that. So they would often, tank crews would often end up carrying grocery produce like this.
But you won't put any on your
Well, I might
Firefly.
use one of those crates and stick it on the back, just see if I can find a crevice to fit it into.
So you've got to go backwards a bit, haven't you, and do a bit more painting there because you had reached a point. It felt that you were almost ready.
Yeah, and one of the things I've realised is that there's a particular stowage point on the side of the turret here, and there are 6 metal strap loops welded onto the side of the turret, not supplied in the kit. So I'm making some up from brass wire.
Okay.
And they should then have, you can see it on quite a few of the pictures, a camouflage netting strapped on there, and other bits and pieces, crew packs, that kind of thing. The oddity is with this one, I'm going to supply it with netting spread around the turret. I've already got some on the barrel, but I'm going to put some around the turret just to add to the clutter, which I suppose theoretically might mean they will have used up their allocation of camouflage netting, and there wouldn't be a bundle to wrap on the side. I could put a smaller one on, but yeah. So I'm sort of getting on with being able to add clutter to it, and more boxes and.
Good. Right. Thanks.
De rien. Comme le dit en France. Au revoir. À bientôt.
Merci.